You are listening to United Public Radio Network, UPRNTalkRadio.com, 107.5 New Orleans.
Resistance is futile.
No, that's what it sounds like.
Tune in to UFO Undercover.
Clara, that was a former host on the network. Yeah, I can't use his name on the thing on the show, but come on Friday and I'll tell you who he is. Yeah.
Radio Network.
Not on this show now. No, I ain't got nothing against Mike. I like Mike.
I had enough.
Well, you drove out there into the middle of nowhere and had some sort of loud.
Yeah, I drove out there and I went.
Challenging ET in general.
Yeah.
Out in the middle of nowhere.
He said, "Oh, really? Come here." I'm like, "No, that was good. That was good."
I think you only put up one finger. The other hand had a pistol in it.
I was waving the gun.
It was close enough to one, that's for sure.
Right, yeah.
Oh man, come on, put a hole in this thing, motherfucker. Damn, a big old hole too. Shit. Man, I look cute. I'm gonna have to get that out of there.
He was a Louisiana man named Montaldo. Folks around
Joe
called him
Go.
Six Gun Joe. Worked with Icar, don't you know? Investigating.
You know, I need to get me a little 6-gun alien to here.
Yeah.
Out for a drive with
Check eBay. There's
Gal
lots of 3D printers.
I
Can
can't
make
get
one.
eBay.
Check
You
out
gotta create. I'm gonna
Fort
create one right
Sight.
now.
When an alien lit right there on the ground, commenced to throwing his weight around. Now, old 6-gun didn't take too kindly to that kind of thing, especially without Vaseline or anything like that, you know. Seriously. Well, 6-gun looked.
Get the volume all the way up on that?
Eyes.
Sounds low.
Said,
I'll check it.
"You have to wish before you die," yells. Reached for his gun, quick as a twitch, and said, "Fill your claw, you son of a bitch." Now
Yeah,
legend
yeah.
spread
Oh,
across the
sounds
land
in mine.
about this pistol waving man.
Yeah.
But if you're from space or from Earth below, you don't give no lip to 6-gun Joe.
Courtesy of Ian.
We need to get Ian on the show one night. We'll talk about that song.
I had enough.
Well, you drove out there.
Welcome everyone. Welcome. Well, this thing always was. It's weird like that. Anyway, welcome everyone to UFO Undercover. Hope y'all having a good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are on our big, beautiful blue planet. You know, when we used to talk about Ian on the show back in the day, people always would write in, "It's Ian Punnett." I said, "No, that's not who we're talking about." So Ian Punnett called in one night. Ian used to, he was like a backup host for George Norion. He had his own show too, but he called and he said, "I never did any of that." And I'm like, "No shit, dude." I said, "If you would have listened to the show before you bitched, you would have known that." And I said, "We knew you didn't do that." I said, "Matter of fact, the guy who did it right there, that's Ian. We call him Ian SP in the room." I said, "He's from the same town you are, by the way, but obviously he seems to have more talent than you do." Yeah. Hey, I said, "Dude, don't. You'll never be on Coast to Coast." I'm like, "Really? I'm going in 3 weeks. What are you fucking talking about?" And he's like, "What?" I'm like, excuse my language, people. No, really. I was like, I was due on with matter of fact, I went on and then I went on a couple months later with Melinda Leslie. What? You mean Coast, Jimmy? I don't. First off, if you want to hear people on Coast to Coast, you just need to write to them. If you get 50, 80, 100 people to write in, they'll invite you. And that's how I got my very first appearance on Coast to Coast. We had a write-in campaign come in. And anybody can do it, and it'll get anybody on. And I have some people's phone numbers over there, and I also know some other people who know people over there. It's just, I haven't really had anything I wanted to talk to you on Coast to Coast. And frankly, I host 4 shows now. So between them, I'm talking to more people I talk to Coast on anyway. And I guarantee you, half the Coast listeners are listening to my show anyhow. No, I know him because I recognize a lot of when I'm on the show. Mm-hmm. One. Oh, hey Heidi. No, no, I mean, Coast is nice. I mean, George is nice. I've met George 5 times, I think now. Well, I've hosted with him 4, and I met him in person twice. Yeah. Well, I did in studio with him in Washington D.C. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Tom was with him. It was just a lot of fun.
He seems like a fairly knowledgeable dude.
Well, he's laid back in the fact that he's not there. He's not there trying to prove anything or change anything. He's just there.
He's not pushing an agenda. Yeah,
that's why they allow you to send in your own questions. Because I said this to somebody one time. They said, "Well, how does he read all the books?" I said, "He's not reading all the books." I said, "He works 5 nights a week, and he's hosting. Now they're doing 2 guests a night." I said, "That would be 8 books a week. I mean, I'm sorry, it'd be 10 books a week he'd have to read." Nobody's doing that. I said, "Look, I got friends now that have to read a book a week, and they bitching." You mean John Goodwin? No, John probably reads 2. He reads 1 for his show, and he probably reads 1 for entertainment. Plus, he's got to do a lot of reading for Writers of the Future. Yeah. Well, they're not in the beginning. No, in the beginning, all that stuff is getting judged and put away, and then as the stories unfold and are picked, and then John and Emily and all them see the stories. Mm-hmm. They're pretty secretive about most of that. I've been there 8 years. I can't get nothing out of their asses. Of course, I'm not real rude about it either. I mean, if I wanted to spy, I probably could, but what do you mean? Oh, that's a Friday night. And I might not even answer that on Friday night because those are friends of mine. So I might get a little touchy about that. I did do research into them. I did research into all of them. Not just me. I should even tell you this. I took the 8 best conspiracists I know and cut them loose on them. And every piece of dirt they could find, they brought to me and told me what they thought it was, what they thought it meant, and if they thought it was real. So when you got 8 of them doing it, with 6 were women, 2 were guys, what I look for in that is when they overlap and they talk about the same things and they come to the same conclusions, because Joes would generally turn out to have something to them. Yeah. So it allows me to cheat. And then, there's a lot of other stuff you can just research online about those people. Yeah, there's a lot of information out there. No, not on this show. We're not going to talk about it here, but actually, we don't really talk about it because no one on the network personally has an interest in it. That's why. Mm-hmm. Anyway, we're going to move on because the audience is like, what the are these 2 idiots talking about? And
it's in the headlines. Liquid water lake found on Mars with insights from researcher. Woohoo! We've been saying it for years.
So they found a real lake on Mars, people. I know. When I seen it, I've been saying for years, you're gonna find water on Mars. And dude, they never gonna find water. Oh, guess what?
What did you say? Where did you say they would find it?
Well, under the ground, under the poles. And where'd they find it, people? I've said this before. Over the last 40 years, I made a lot of predictions, which a good chunk of them now have come true. And I don't want to call them predictions because it's not so much predictions as it is common sense. Like finding water near water ice, where there's a climate and where there's temperatures that get above freezing. Somewhere along, or every now and then just a big rock hits it and superheats everything for a while. Regardless, though, there was no doubt that there would be liquid water. And I think they're going to find a lot more. And then I think they're going to find a lot that's locked up in ice. And then they're going to find a lot of brine as well.
Mm-hmm. And there may even be at certain temperatures, ice would become rock. So some of that rock may even be ice that's so frozen it's turned to almost a rock-like substance. So until it melts, we won't know that it's rock.
There's a lot more water on Mars than we were led to believe.
Right? I mean, it's like negative 400 degrees at night, isn't it?
No. So Mars is a weird planet. There's days on Mars where it can get up above freezing.
Yeah.
There's even places on Mars. Now, this is what's funny about this. You can experience 73 degrees only from the waist down, though.
What?
Now listen, this is Stembrova proved this. So it's like 73 degrees. It lasted for a little while.
Like
it was
3 feet. And then it's
Off the
200
ground.
degrees the rest of the way up.
No, and then it would in the daytime it was depending on what part of Mars you're on. It was either plus 100 degrees or minus about 30 degrees. But people forget Mars has an atmosphere, not a big, thick, heavy one, but it does have an atmosphere, so it does retain some heat.
You can't breathe it, but yeah.
Yeah, and there's not enough pressure for us to walk around without a suit yet.
Yeah, you need a full body pressure suit.
What do you mean?
Google, what are the average temperatures from night to day on Mars?
Yeah, I wonder how it swings. She's like, fucking fun there, dude. Why'd you ask me that question?
Unless the cat knocked the wire loose. Oh no, she's working. Hey, Google, what are the average temperatures between day and night on Mars?
Oh, wait, he's doing
Mars
that.
is a very cold, dry world with extreme temperature swings. While the
Of
average
course it
temperature
is.
about minus 63 degrees Celsius, minus 81 degrees Fahrenheit, it can reach highs of around 20 degrees Celsius, 68 degrees Fahrenheit, near the equator during the day and plummet to minus 153 degrees Celsius, minus 243 degrees Fahrenheit at the poles at night.
Yeah, so
overall, daytime temperatures can reach about 20 degrees Celsius to 27 degrees Celsius, while nighttime temperatures frequently drop below minus 100 degrees Celsius.
So it's 27 degrees Celsius is what, 60, 70 degrees?
Something like that. Yeah, and at the poles, though, we're talking like, negative.
Oh, insane, yeah.
But rock becomes rock, yeah. So up there, you can find some rock that's actually ice.
Well, Jimmy, no. So, no, that's temperatures you'd find on Earth. 70 degrees is 70 degrees, my friend. 68 degrees is 68 degrees.
Right.
Yeah, there are times on Mars. But this was what was so funny. So they were on their way to one of the ones closest to the equator. And the guy said, oh, look, a bright and sunny 73 degrees. And that's what the rover was showing. And then the guy said, well, this thing is kind of closer to the ground. He said, let's put the camera on, the infrared camera, and see what we get. And it was like way, way colder. I thought it was going to be hotter. It was way colder.
Yeah, it's like negative 150 degrees up there.
Yeah, so it's no, this was cold. This wasn't hotter. It was a good 30 below or something. And the guy was like, it didn't make any sense. And then he realizes the way so their atmosphere did like their heat stacks and layers. It's not like it is here where if it's 70 degrees here where we're standing, it's at least 70 degrees 200 feet above us. And then after that, it gets like if you go outside, you can go outside of my house right now on a hot, sunny day, take my temperature gauge that I use to check anything with, for work, shoot it straight up. It'll be minus about 70 degrees. But the range of that thing's probably a mile or two, at least a half mile for sure. So it just shows you, even on a hot day like that, less than a half mile away are temperatures that would freeze you like a rock on our own planet. And people just don't realize that's how our atmosphere works. Hey, Kara, how you doing, baby? No, it's a weird thing. So this lake, they're saying it's liquid, guys. They're not saying it's frozen.
Liquid water.
Now I forgot. You know what? Hold on. Let's see something.
But they were using radar, not sonar.
Yeah, they were using radar.
Have a depth on it, but they have at least they have a You said they had at least a square footage or diameter of it, something to that effect.
They say they think. Yeah, so we're gonna watch this. This is only a 6-minute clip, people. 5.5 minute clip. Let's see. Whoops. Where are we at? There we are. I was reading about mesh and drone networks so they don't show up on radar. Okay, here we go. This is the researcher. Let's just put him on a bigger screen there. Toss him up on the screen. Whoops, I took him down. That was me. I right as I hit it, I noticed it said remove as I touched the button because I hadn't seen it on the screen.
Whoops.
Okay, let's see.
Full screen.
Let's go over here. Let's see if it's in courtesies. This is actually coming from MSN.com. And I guess he'll give his own plugs because I don't see any other.
Is this guy from NASA?
We're gonna find out right now. Hang on. We're going to hit the magic button, and away we go.
Blink.
We discovered water on Mars. This was done through. We discovered water on Mars. We discovered water on Mars. We discovered water on Mars. This was done
Sounds
through
a bit foreign.
analysis of the data acquired by the Italo-US radar MARSIS on board the Mars Express spacecraft of the European Space Agency. MARSIS was able to detect echoes from the beneath
Echoes.
the southern
Echoes.
polar
He says this
cap
the
of
whole
Mars
time.
that were stronger than surface echoes. This condition on
Echoes.
Earth happens only when you observe subglacial water, like in the Antarctica, over places like Lake Vostok. And we were for a long time debating if this was also the case on Mars. It was a long investigation, which required a lot of effort, but after several years, which it took, we were able to demonstrate that indeed this was the case. We found, in fact, that any other explanation for these very strong echoes was not really tenable in the light of the evidence that we had available. So we had to conclude that there is water on Mars today. The water is found about 1 mile below the surface and in a place close to the South Pole, to the geographic South Pole of Mars. It's probably
Sorry, people. That sucker
Right in my ear. Good.
That hurt.
Lord,
that was loud, man. I know.
Jesus Christ.
Just glad I seen that damn mute button. Sorry.
Yeah.
Not a very large lake. Mars doesn't have a very high resolution. It cannot really distinguish many details, but it tells us that the lake is no larger than 20 kilometers of diameter, approximately.
It's pretty big, 20
The
kilometers.
lake
What was that,
itself
14 miles, huh?
has
12 miles, 14
a
something.
thickness that Mars is not able to probe because the radar signal is quickly absorbed into the water. But we estimate that it has to be, as a minimum, of the order of 1 meter of water, which is something that really qualifies this as a body
12
of
miles,
water,
3
a
feet
lake.
deep.
Not really like some kind of meltwater filling some space between rock and ice, like it happens in certain glaciers on Earth. The radar data tell us that this water must contain a large amount of salts. This is because the ice above it is very transparent, and this would not be possible if the ice was too warm, too close to the melting point. So we have to conclude that the water in contact with the ice must be at least -10, -20, maybe -30 Celsius. And the minimum temperature is probably defined by the deepest depression or the freezing points that can.
Oh, no. My ring.
You think you know someone until they make an unexpected leap. It's like finding out trade is running with Morgan Stanley.
Get him, boy. Get that damn monkey.
By solving salts into water, which is around -60 Celsius. This is certainly not a very pleasant environment for life. And what we think,
8 degrees negative,
however,
Fahrenheit.
is that because of the presence of salts, there could be analogs on Earth as well. Again, these analogs could be the same subglacial lakes in Antarctica that we mentioned before. Also there water is salty, and there are single-cell organisms that survive in such an environment, exactly with the metabolism that makes use of the salts dissolved into the water. This is a pictorial representation of MARSIS observing Mars. The upper part of the picture shows then the real data, the radar data, arranged into a two-dimensional image. Every column of the image is an echo of the radar, and the brightness of the pixels of the image denotes the energy of the echo in that particular point. So the horizontal line here is surface echo, the echo from the very flat top of the Mars polar cap in this particular area. And this is the interior of the polar caps. It's also layered, as you can see. This layering is probably controlled by climate change on Mars, by the pattern of ice and dust deposition at the poles during different climate cycles of the planet. And then finally, you see the bottom, the rock beneath it. And in light blue, you see also where the reflections from the bottom are stronger than
It's like
surface
little skull
reflections.
faces along there,
And
man. What the
this
hell?
is something that to us is the
It
telltale
looks like a
sign
series
of
of
the presence
lakes rather
water.
than one big one, I guess.
Getting there and acquiring the final evidence that this is indeed a lake will not be easy task. It will require flying a robot there, which is capable
Robert.
of
Why are we sending Robert? Why not send a robot?
1.5 kilometers of
Yeah.
ice.
What the hell does
And
Robert
this
know?
will certainly require some technological developments that at the moment are not available.
Well, courtesy of this.
Your range is fine.
Well, I mean, no, that's not true. We do have technology for that. We first of all, you'd have to drill or find a natural passageway down to that lake, and then you'd have to float a drone robot that could, like a boat, or that has sonar on it, or a fish finder, and that will give you at least a depth, and it could easily skirt the outskirts of the lake and get square footage or a diameter on it, and then a depth, and then with the fish finder, it may even find something swimming around in there.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
Let's see. What is this? NASA tested Mars soil for life, and the results came back positive.
Yeah, correct.
So that's two. All right, Jay, what are you beating on, man? You got a dog sitting there scratching his ass or something?
No, nothing here.
Yeah, something's like.
I have no idea.
Yeah, it sounds like. Well, it's definitely
I have a
coming.
fan on, but it's way over there.
That's weird.
What about this one with the Soviets found on Venus?
Let me see how long it is. Hold on. That's weird, Jay. You gotta figure out what that noise is. Well, let me see. I'm telling you, it might not be. Let me check and see. Hold on, find out. Oh, it stops.
Is it going on now?
No.
How about now?
Yep. What is that?
That's my knee. I don't know how it's translating through.
Oh, it's you. Oh, it's you know what it's doing? It's going up the pipe to the flat to the computer. Yes. I've seen that happen before. No, you know how I know that? I had on my computer next to me over there. My male dog used to like to come and sit down, and when he would sit there, he would go to scratching, right? And his just one paw would hit it every time. I didn't really hear it, but when I went back and listened to the archive, I could hear it. I was like, "What the fuck is that?" Yeah, my mic was picking it up like the son bitch was thumping my mic. Jay, I was like, "Get out of here!" But you know, we use pretty sensitive mics these days too, so you can't really complain. I mean, we got good audio. What's that, Kara? Oh, wait, no, we have a Kara in the room. You mean earlier? That's who I was talking to. Yeah, why? What's your stressing about, young lady? No, Kara, I'm talking to the other Kara. Now that's confusing me because it's two of y'all. Stop that. Change Carol and Messenger, change your name or put a different name in there. Look at Carl Sagan out there, all proud like a peacock.
I just scanning real quick over the Wikipedia entry called Lakes on Mars, and they're saying in 65 the first lakes were detected.
100%.
Later videos and pictures taken over the time, evidence was found of past water having been on the surface, as well as several minerals which can only form in H2O water. So we've known there's been water on since before I was born.
Well, no, that's different though, because they know there was water on Mars. They just don't think there was water on Mars now. They but see, now that's different. Now we know, yeah, no, there is water on Mars right now. It's
Yes.
so that makes a big difference for people like Elon Musk who wants to go there. So one of the things they wanted to do is go there and do wind traps and catch water out of the air, but now they're not going to have to. And I guarantee you, when you start looking around that solar and both the caps, you're going to find water all over the damn place. Because you can see where there's big impact events, around different places around both ice caps. And if there's an impact event, it got super hot, it melted. It probably ran off into places where it could stay, because it must be just between the salt and underneath the ground. It must be just warm enough and just salty enough to keep it. And we don't know what kind of heat translates into a mile down on Mars.
Yeah, and there's one that's inside the Jezero crater is allegedly was once a lake and a river.
Okay, now this one, people, we're going to do this in two pieces because this one's 11 minutes. Okay.
They found a triangular UFO in the woods.
Yes, now I know what this is. Okay, and I'll tell y'all in a minute. Am I on the screen? No, I'm not. Am I? Shit, hold on.
No, it's just the background's up there. I don't know how that happened.
Share screen. Okay, put me up there, Jay.
Hang on. Oh, it's up there.
Okay, so there we are. Well, that don't look like. Okay, it does. Okay, so this is 11 minutes long. This technically is about a case that's well known. Jay and I have discussed this. Matter of fact, we have friends involved in this case, and I did the voice analysis on one of the witnesses of this case. I actually offered that in hypnosis to three other witnesses, Charles Halt, and Peniston, and Burroughs and Peniston were the other two witnesses, and I offered it to them as well. I think it's Jim Peniston and something Burroughs. Anyway,
yeah, Jim Burroughs, John Peniston, Lieutenant Colonel. Charles Halt.
Yeah. And then of course
Halt. He's Halt, HALT.
HALT, yeah.
Kind of weird. I always remarked on that case, the Rendlesham case, and I remarked it back to this 47 Roswell case, because the now Colonel Halt was the security director for the base in Rendlesham, but they had a colonel, I think his name was Walter Haut, H-A-U-T, very similar last name.
Very similar, not quite
only
the same.
One letter off. Yeah, one letter off. And he wasn't the security guy. That was Jesse Marcel, but he was the base like public relations officer, which meant that he was the one who would give out statements from the base for public statements and whatnot. And he's the one who talked about they found the UFO. So that was remarked that how those 2 men are so close. Walter and Charles, Haut and Halt. Very, very similar. It's synchronicity, and it's very strange.
What's Kirby? What were you talking about? Oh no, Jesse Marcel. You're thinking of Jesse Marcel Jr. is not the one that was at Roswell. That's the kid of the guy that was at Roswell.
Jesse Marcel Jr. was at Roswell. He was just a kid and lived nearby.
No, but I mean, he wasn't at the event. He's seen some of the stuff from the event, but he wasn't at the event.
Yeah, he wasn't at the debris site.
Well, Ramey, before we get into that, so the people who worked Mac Brazel's ranch are not the people who worked the Aurora crash. Even though the two are connected, it was a different group, mainly because it wasn't aliens they found up there. It was humans they found. And it was aliens they found at Mac Brazel's ranch, including the one they found. Actually, they found two alive, but the other one was just too far gone. It wasn't going to make it.
Yeah, I think he died on the spot.
Yeah, no, it died later on. One of them died on the spot. So there was the one they found by the tree. They were talking. He just died, and then they found one under a piece of wreckage, but he had a torn torso. So he died later on at the place, and then they had the one that they said stayed there for quite some time.
Right. Well, and there was also one, I believe, on one of the three sites. That was I can't remember her name. She always cries every time she relates her story. But anyway, she related the story that one of the aliens that was injured was hit in the head with the butt of the officer's rifle. And then the officer was ordered to shoot it in the head by the commanding officer that was on site. And then he did. And then there was one that they brought back like it was unharmed, really.
Yeah. I don't know about anybody shooting anybody, man. That would have got somebody put down.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, that was. I don't think that was the either the Brazil site or the other impact zone at the Arroyo on the west end of. Sorry, the east end of town. This would have been on the west side of the crash sites. Either the one that landed on, and I think it landed on Sandia National Laboratories property, but it's still within the confines of the National Laboratory. You know, the Los Alamos National Laboratories. Private property. So the military would have gone to that location first, and they did. And then it took them several days to clear that. Then they came to the other 3 sites that were outside near Roswell.
What do you mean, Carl? Oh, okay. How can I explain this? So the way I know a UFO won't break up or disintegrate on impact, I'll help you with this. So according to the Germans around 1900, they were given a saucer-shaped craft by what we consider the human type aliens. It was a ship that was shot down and crashed, but was completely intact and everything worked on the side. They gave it to the Germans because the Germans at the time were the most advanced people on the planet by far. They were way ahead of the Americans.
Start World War One.
And so, you know, and now they get a little boost in technology to help them along with that. And then we know from 1910, I believe, until like 1916, 17, they were building all these sorts of things. They tried to build a saucer plane, a saucer boat, a saucer tank. It was just weird. But there was lots of rumors that came out of all of that. Well, here comes World War II. Allies win World II. We give Werner von Braun, and we get a special gift that we didn't know about. We got the sports model UFO intact, no damage. Even though the place it was being stored had been bombed to the ground, the craft was intact, and the guy described it as not even dirty.
Yeah, not even scratched. And we were planning on that. This was taken in part of Operation Paperclip. Werner von Braun was considered an emergency, like as soon as you find him, get him out of there to America as fast as you can, kind of deal. But then they found the ship, and they said, "Well, we'll come back next week for Werner. We'll get this now." So instead of taking Werner von Braun as soon as they found him, they bunkered him somewhere for a week.
Well, no,
two,
that's because
and then absconded with this thing, and then came back for him.
That's because he gave him the ship. Yeah. Well, he gave him the ship. It was like a gift. You know what? I wasn't 100% sure, even though they were going to use him as a scientist, that they were just going to let him run rampant because he was. People. There's a little bit.
They quashed his war record. I mean, he's with all kinds of war criminals, crimes.
I like Werner von Braun because his vision was great. There was some questionable choices,
but he was also a hardcore Nazi.
Well, he was in the beginning. So when he went to work for the regime, he actually was an SS, and but somewhere along the line, he started to change. Science started taking over his life. And then he realized if he could just get the bleep off the planet, that he could have the kind of life that he wanted. And when he got to America, he proved that because of the kind of life he had here in America. He had a fabulous life here. And if he could have just got us all to Mars, he would have had one there. So he started to change. Does that make what he did in the past correct? No. He had a hand in what went on with the Jews and everybody else. So, I mean, and then I'm sure now wherever he's at,
very unpleasant man.
So he was a great help to the United States, and maybe he made some good karma by helping us out in a lot of ways. And he really truly wanted to go to Mars, so he was a visionary in fact. And he said,
agree with that. And I think basically what he did for America, if not gifting the craft, but at least he had knowledge of it and was able to help us operate it. I think he was trying to redeem himself for what he was forced to do. I don't know if he was forced to do it, but he helped out with the final solution. So that's 12 million people.
Well, I'm at
not just Jews, there's 12 million total people killed in that method.
I talked to several people that work for Werner von Braun and his assistant, his number one secretary. So Carolyn Rosin worked for both of them. Carolyn's an interesting person. I don't always agree with a lot of her new age stuff because it drives me crazy. But regardless, she was there for the event. And so you say you could see him with kids itself, Kevin kids, and you just see him changing daily to something else. Because he realized now he lived in a place where, you know what? I don't have to be this nasty bastard to survive. Now, when he was in Germany, you know, he was young. He was, you know, he was into the party. Everybody was into the party. Hitler was a great
well, he was
speaker.
also high up in rank too. He was very important.
Well, not in the beginning.
He was in the corps.
Yeah, but not in the beginning. He was just a kid like everybody else. He was a kid that signed up, became an SS. It wasn't later on until all the science came out, and he was. But there was an event I forgot. Carolyn and Janine both talk about. There was an event that happened in Germany. I think he was witness to one of the actual events at Auschwitz. So, you know, he may had heard about it, but he had not experienced it. And they said he was there for he was interviewing Jews for science jobs for the, you know, building weapons. And while they were there, they gassed like 4 bathrooms full of them. And he watched them carry him out and put him into mass graves and bury him. So it probably did change him. He probably realized.
And also, from what I understand, also is that they came to him early on in the Final Solution program, and they were having difficulty with the 2 things that they had problems with was the gas chamber and the ovens. So they had 2 chambers. They had the gas chambers where they would fill it with people and then a toxic gas and wait to kill them. And once they were all dead, they would take them to another room, which was an oven, or it might have been even the same room that would be converted to an oven, and a different gas was piped in and ignited, and they would cook the bodies. Well, the problem they had was the gas wasn't killing them all the way. A lot of times when they opened the room after the gas was evacuated, the soldiers found like 15% of them were still alive, and often were shot in the head immediately or gassed again. And then when they were taken to the ovens, again, the same problems. About like 75 to 80% of the bodies weren't being cooked. So they had to cook it again, or, put new stuff on top of the old stuff until everything was burnt to ash. So those were the problems they had. And they came to Werner von Braun because he was a rocket scientist making rocket engines for the V1, V2 program. And they said, can you fix these gas nozzles? And so he fixed the gas nozzles to be more efficient. So now when the gas was used to kill, like 99% of them, like maybe one person, survived who was very tolerant of the gas. And then when they cooked the bodies in the ovens, like almost all of it was turned to ash except for the bones, which is almost impossible to do anyway. So he helped out in that. If he hadn't witnessed it before, he at least knew of the methods that were being used.
Yeah,
live gassings and sometimes live, body cookings. They weren't fully dead; they were cooking them half alive.
What do you mean, Chris? You mean how do you stand up in a group like that? It's not an easy thing to do. Right, would have probably got him killed. Yeah, I don't think Hitler and them would put up with it. But anyway, no, that's all pertaining to this. This is also part of what we're doing tonight. But there was a lot goes on when you think about what happened, how we got the nuclear bomb, how we got ballistic missiles, how we got to the moon.
A lot of people sacrificed a lot of stuff on both sides to get where they were trying to go. Thank God we won.
I know. Anyway, on that note, we're going to play this clip, so y'all just take a listen. We'll probably break it at about 6 minutes, which will be about time to go to a break. And we'll probably play a song, and we'll come back and maybe talk a little bit about. We might talk a little bit about first, and play a song, and then come back and listen to the other half. Unless it's just really boring, and then we'll say.
Yeah, and then we might even boot it earlier. You never know.
Yeah, that's true. So here you go, guys. Rendlesham Forest.
It's the 26th of December, 1980. In Rendlesham Forest, in England, is RAF Woodbridge, an airbase which is currently being used by the United States Air Force. The Cold War is on, but things are quiet at Woodbridge, although it is rumored that nuclear weapons are held on the base.
Whoops.
In the dead of night, a security patrol are checking the east gate. They notice something out of the ordinary. There are red and blue lights around 300 meters away in the sky, just above the trees and descending into Rendlesham Forest. The lights now in the forest cause the entire woods to light up. Their only thought was that an aircraft could be
sorry guys, hit the wrong button.
In trouble and was putting down in an emergency. They decided to investigate further and drove into the forest towards the strange lights. Parking up, the two men ventured onwards on foot to what was now a glowing white light which was coming towards them. At this stage, nothing had been reported, and afraid of using their radios for being overheard reporting such a strange phenomenon, they decided to drive back to the gate and phone in a report. Also, they had a strong feeling of dread, and static in the air was noticed by both men.
We got some strange lights in the forest here. Has anyone reported a downed aircraft?
It's Christmas. Maybe Santa Claus decided to take a rest after all his hard work last night.
No, I'm deadly serious. This is weird.
Staff Sergeant Jim Peniston was sent to meet the two men and investigate further. Upon meeting the men, they pointed in the direction of the lights. Peniston saw a glowing dome of light in the woods. It must be a downed A-10. Quickly, questioning the two guards, he was told no, there was no crash, and that it looked like a UFO had landed in the forest. Peniston ignored the crazy explanation he was given by the two guards and called into control.
Were there any aircraft reported missing?
No.
Anything strange on radar? He was told that something in the air was being tracked in the area. A strange bogey had been spotted and then disappeared off radar. Peniston considered the options. If it wasn't American or British, then maybe it was a threat. Maybe even the Soviets. Peniston was given permission to go off base and investigate. Leaving their weapons behind, the three men headed into the jeep towards the crash site. Driving deeper into the forest, the woods were lit up by what looked like the orange glow of a fire with flashing lights in the middle. They gotten about as far as they could in the jeep and radioed in to say they would approach the crash site on foot. On the way, the radios mysteriously stopped working. They were working intermittently, but something was interrupting with them. One man stayed in the jeep, and Peniston and an airman named Burrows headed on foot to the site. While the lights were dancing, there was complete silence. That is, until a scream of a muntjac deer pierced the night. At that point, as if on cue, all the animals in the woods started with a cacophony. The noise continued with the ground shaking, forest animals running away past Peniston. Then it suddenly stopped, and silence returned to the forest. Peniston thought that maybe Burrows was starting to lose it, and went on alone. Emerging into the clearing, what he saw took his breath away. Unable to believe his eyes, he saw an object which seemed to be floating. A force field of milky grey and yellow light surrounded the craft in a dome shape. Peniston pushed himself through the force field, and suddenly all the details of the craft became clear. It was triangular shaped, black and shiny. Under the skin of the craft, he could clearly see circular lights blinking in sequence along the side. Random colors and shapes formed and disappeared under the surface. Looking back towards Burrows, he was shocked to see the man motionless, standing around 3 meters behind, bathed in a cone of light and fixedly staring ahead. Shouting at him, he received no response. He was just staring, his arms by his side. Peniston realized he was on his own. Inspecting the craft, he took photos and kept reporting on the radio his observations. Even if the radio was dead, then maybe someone could hear him. On the left side of the craft, he found some markings. Maybe it was NASA or USAF or even the Soviets. But no, these were like modern representations of Egyptian. Looking hieroglyphs. Could it really be aliens? Touching the glyphs, a bright light flashed before his eyes. He dropped the camera, and then, like some kind of data transmission, he saw streams of ones and zeros and binary code in his mind's eye. The lights on the craft merged together and grew brighter and brighter. Picking up his camera and retreating, he watched the craft ascend silently to around 80 meters, and then suddenly it just disappeared. Burrows had by now come back to his senses. The men went back to the Jeep, the three of them reunited. They drove back in silence. After reporting the sighting, Peniston and some others went back the next day to the site. In the ground, they found 3 indentations where the craft had rested. Also, examining the clearing, they noticed several branches had been broken high up during the craft's arrival and departure. Physical evidence. Without telling his superiors, Peniston even went back alone and produced plaster casts of the indentations. But this was just the start of the Rendlesham incident. The following night, 6 more people saw strange green, white and red lights out near the east gate, with the object disappearing and then reappearing at another point in the sky. The guards, when checking the control tower, were told they had been observing those same lights for 90 minutes or more. Word had now gotten around the base of the extraordinary goings-on. The next evening, in the Woodbridge Officers' Club, a late Christmas dinner was underway when Lieutenant Bruce England entered the club looking rather flustered and said, "It's back." The deputy base commander, Lieutenant Colonel Charles Holt, took England to one side. "What's happened?" "We were out in the forest. We saw something." A team was quickly assembled. Lights, cameras, tape recorders and night vision cameras, Geiger counters and weapons were gathered, and they headed out towards the landing site.
We're a little bit more than 6 minutes in.
Okay, I did dun 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 dun, which I didn't hear me. Anyway, so no, not too bad. Still got, I think, 4 minutes left if I remember right. Let me see. It's at 7:40, so yeah, about 4 minutes left. It's we're gonna play it to its completion, but this is technically our break. So if anybody wants to grab a coke, snort some cocaine, smoke a joint, drink a beer. No, cocaine is bad for you. Actually, you should not do that kind of stuff. It's very bad for you. Yes, it does bad things to your brain. I mean, I wouldn't do that stuff. That stuff's nasty. No, indeed, no. Get out of here. What do you mean drugs are mind enhancers? Yeah, well, that's true. Drugs can be a mind enhancer.
Sometimes they can be, yeah. Hey, Heidi, don't click on that link or open it up. Go to your Facebook instead. That's a phishing scam. Click any link there, that's your stuff.
Yeah. No, so we're gonna finish playing this.
Yeah, so far it's pretty good. A couple of quick things they got wrong. One, Jim Peniston, when he touched it, he said he didn't get the ones and zeros till like days and weeks later. He started dreaming about them.
Yeah.
And then the other one is that it isn't wasn't just a base used by the USAF. It was a joint base. It was Bentwaters Rendlesham. It was USAF Bentwaters and I'm sorry, it was RAF Bentwaters and USAF.
And it was a U.S. British Joint Strike Base. People. It had
nuclear strike base.
It had nuclear weapons. Yes. So that's all that stuff's important to know because you have to think, why was ET hanging around in the woods, or whoever was hanging around in the woods? Well, no, originally they thought it was a lighthouse. Oh yeah, they tried to blame it on a lighthouse for a little while.
Yes.
And people are like, no, we don't think that was a lighthouse. Come on now.
And get this, a lighthouse, it's on France. It's across the bay on France.
Yeah, so it was reflecting and hitting a cloud and reflecting off some water and bouncing off a building and
bouncing off Venus with swamp gas. Yeah.
And sometime it was making a perfect orb shape in the middle of a forest.
Yeah.
Hey,
and the whippoorwills
do that trick. I want to learn how to do that trick.
Yeah, really.
Anyway, we're gonna put this on. Like I said, there's about 4 minutes left. What is it? 8? Yeah, three and some change. Yeah, okay. We'll be back to talk about it some more. Here we go. Now, what I haven't heard is Larry Warren.
At the site, they found that they couldn't get the arc lights to work, but still went about taking radiation readings, finding the site was about twice as radioactive as the surroundings.
Yeah, it's a PKE meter from Ghostbusters.
That's the best deflection needle I've seen yet. This is weird.
During the observations, through which audio was recorded in a handheld tape recorder, lights were spotted on throughout the forest.
Everyone's just deathly calm. There's no doubt about it. There's some type of strange flashing red light ahead. It's yellow. I saw yellow attention too. Weird.
The men went in pursuit. They noticed that farmyard animals and the wildlife were acting very agitated.
148, we're getting very strange sounds out of the farmers' barnyard animals. They're very, very active, making a lot of noise. There's something very, very strange.
Amazed, they observed the object. They described a pyramid shape with what seemed to be a giant eye moving through the trees. It looked like it was blinking at them.
Okay, we're looking at the thing. We're probably about 200 to 300 yards away. It looks like an eye.
When you stay with Choice Hotels, you get more of what you value. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
Yeah,
and we can actually spin from side to side. And when you put the star scope on it, it sort of has a hollow center, a dark center.
When using the Starscope night vision, they could see it had a dark center.
You know, like the pupil of an eye looking at you, winking, and the flash is so bright to the star scope that it almost burns your eye.
The craft ascended, and incredibly, a beam shot down towards the ground. Eventually, the craft shot up out of view, blasting the airmen with icy cold air. Elliptical shapes that had detached from the craft lingered in the air for about an hour, before they too disappeared. Penniston was comforted to know he had film evidence and went to pick up his film from the processing lab. When he looked at the photos, all of them had been fogged. The radiation that had been detected had also ruined the film. There were many conflicting reports and alleged cover-ups of this incident. You can find the audio that Lieutenant Colonel Holt recorded on Wikipedia. We read the excellent Rendlesham Enigma by Jim Penniston and Gary Osborne in researching this film. In the book, you can find more on the meaning of the binary encoded message that Penniston was given.
Penniston's so full of shit. It's coming out of his eyeballs.
Yeah.
Our Yarn Hub mystery dog visited Rendlesham Forest in researching this video. It's possible to walk the route that was taken all those years ago, and there's a campsite nearby. It's changed little in that time, and you can really get a sense of the strange happenings. There's even a reconstruction of the spacecraft that Penniston saw. When we wandered around, we were completely alone. Even in the daytime, the forest has an interesting feel. We decided we'd leave it to others to explore the forest alone at night. We hope you like this video. Please subscribe, like, and share. Thank you.
Thank you, Jackson. 5 more. So, what y'all think about Rendlesham? I don't see no Jim, no Larry Warren in there, though, man. Larry got to be hostile. Larry Warren is in the book Left at Eastgate. That's about Larry Warren's experience.
Yeah, and there's another detail I remember that I don't even remember it was the detail of Burroughs heading towards the ship and the animals running towards them in the other direction. I don't remember them saying that before.
Yeah, there's no. I got interviews with some of them, but no, Jim and
Penniston and Burroughs, their stories have changed over the years. Charles Schultz has not, but the rest of them have.
Well, now they're time travelers, so we'll just leave that alone.
Yeah,
it's
was that Burroughs that said that?
Yeah, they're time travelers now, so yeah, they just whatever.
Problem
is when you get a little bit of fame, sometimes it goes to your head and you can't let it go. So you got to keep reproducing stuff that keeps you in the limelight. Which, if you want to lie, cheat, and steal, it'd be easy to stay in the limelight. But anyway, we're not quite through at the break, so you're going to get one little song interlude for anybody who needs a cup of coffee, which I think I'm going to get myself. And I will be right back in about however long this song takes to play. Welcome back, everyone, to UFO Undercover. Hope you have been enjoying the show. And this one's always fun. We'll have to get Larry Warren on and talk to him. Well, Larry's always interesting, but they still got controversy around the movie Capel Green. I don't know what went on. First, they said they put it all together, and the guy Dion finally released it, and then I don't know, all hell broke loose after that. So I haven't seen it.
The story itself wouldn't have much, let's just say, authority if Charles Halt hadn't given his testimony. If it was just Burroughs and Peniston, it would probably fall to the side of did it or didn't happen.
Yeah, but
I think it really did happen. Lieutenant Colonel, if you're at that level, you're not going to make a false report.
Yeah, well, Larry Warren ended up getting more attention than any of them did. When he hooked up with Peter Robinson, they wrote that book Left at Eastgate. That was a good book. Got a lot of attention, and it wasn't crazy like what Burroughs and Peniston were saying. Holt didn't say much, Chris, because he didn't want to get involved in it. No, he never denied that it was real. He just didn't want to say what he thought it was. All three of them, I talked to all three of them on different occasions on this show. And I asked them if they would consider a polygraph or a hypnosis. I said I'd do any of them for free. I said I'd make sure you had somebody there where everything would be recorded and videotaped, and nothing would be released without your permission. They still said no.
Wow, the hardcover is $100 on Amazon.
Damn, Larry.
There's one for 20. There's one for 25, but that's still that's still high. But not.
Well, yeah, it's out of publishing now, right? They took it out of publishing because Larry and Peter had a split.
Yeah, it looks like the most recent publishing was 2005 and is a paperback, but still out of. It says see options to buy. The hardcover that's on sale here is October 8th, 1998, one day from my birthday, and it's 25, so that's not too expensive. Yeah, paperback.
Wait, what date was it you said? What date did you say it was?
The the main page here says October 8th, 1998. And then there's another one that says October 1, 2005. I think that's the most recent printing.
Oh, so the book's a Libra? Well, no wonder it's confused.
So. Yeah.
All Libras are confused. Oh, no.
If they don't do their research.
Look, first off, Libras get their shit together.
For hardcover, $29.83 is what they're asking. That's not too bad.
I may have to order it and give it away. Oh, I don't read anymore. Not that kind of stuff anyway. I read, but not that kind of stuff. No. If I'm going to do like
it has 32 photographs.
If I'm going to do a story, I'm going to do one on no, idiot. Anyway, we're moving on from all that crazy stuff. Check it out. Rendlesham Forest it's an interesting case. Left at Eastgate's a decent book. No, Peter and Larry got into it about. It's a long story, but this crazy person we knew, Sasha Christie, and she went crazy in the beginning. She just went crazy later on. So Sasha used to work for me as a UK director. And one day she starts screaming at me and one of our hosts, Christina George, who hosted Paranormal Connections. Larry Warren was on, and we were on, and we were talking to Larry. I didn't know there was any hard feelings between the two of them. So something happened between them two. And I mean, she went from his most strongest supporter. He was actually living in her house to they hated each other. Well, she hated him anyway. She started saying he was lying about this, lying about that, lying about this. So they pushed and shoved. Well, they couldn't say he was lying about Rendlesham because, one, we voice stressed him. So I knew he was telling the truth, at least about some of it. And then he had been polygraphed by a different group and passed out as well. And then he was repolygraphed again for this movie and re-voice stressed. He passed all of them. So either something happened or he's a really damn good liar and he's in the wrong profession. But he used to deal in memorability from famous people. He used to hang out, get his, it was a groupie. So he'd get some little pieces of memorability every once in a while. and he was selling them. And I guess somebody said something was fake or not real, or a picture wasn't real. Some picture with Larry and somebody famous. I think it might have been what's his name from Rolling Stones, but Mick Jagger. So that's what the fallout. It was never over the story. So, but anyway, Peter got mad, said he's a liar. So he pulled left from Eastgate. And it was a good story. So, that was just shitty on his part. I don't know why Peter didn't sue him and republish the book, because it's based on Larry Warren's story. Larry Warren was one of the cops, one of the base cops. Yeah. He was one of the ones that went out in the field that night and seen it.
Was he the one in the Jeep when the other two, Burroughs and Pennison, went into the woods?
No, I think he was from a different gate on the base. Actually,
They came from the other side.
yeah, it sounded like, yeah. We'll invite him. We've done. I mean, he's been on the network at least a dozen times, probably more than that. Jim's been on a couple times. Burroughs been on once. Holt's been on once, and Holt's was a really short interview. It was 30 minutes. And he was basically, no, 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 no. Yeah, that was pretty much the interview. I was going to be an ass, and then I decided to be nice. I said I had a good guest coming on in the second hour, so I said, you know what? I said, you don't sound like you're really enjoying yourself, Mr. Holt. I said, why don't you? We'll go ahead and let you go now, and I thank you for your time, for hanging out with us, and your answers, and thank you. And that was in that. I had Jeffrey dropping out the feed. It was. Well, I mean, why bother going on a UFO show not to talk about UFOs? No. The one that you mean, the anti-gravity one, yes. Well, it may be a little too long for tonight's show, but it's most interesting. So we're supposed to have anti-gravity for a while now. So I know for a fact that Lockheed and Boeing definitely have anti-gravity. Probably have had it since I met the Senator McDonald back in the early 90s or kind of mid 90s. They've definitely had anti-gravity since then. But if the stories are pure,
suspected it and said that we've had it since at least the 80s, that we had some
yeah,
sort of
and you can go back a little bit further. The Russians say we've had it since about 73 or 75.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's when I first suspected about it, but I think the confirmations came in the 80s, particularly with Bob Lazar.
Yeah, and then well, the Russians actually said in 78 or 79 that there had been a joint mission between the United States and Russia to establish an inner working colony on Mars.
Yeah.
And since then, there has supposed to be many trips. So, Elon may get a rude awakening when he gets to Mars. It's if Alfred Weber and Robert Saul and Richard Dolan and them are right, then there's people already living on Mars. There's the guys who dictate who our presidents are going to be, except for maybe Donald Trump.
Yeah, wild card.
You know what, Jimmy? That's a good question. Save it for Friday. Well, no, because they're both endorsing candidates. And right now, Trump's 100% endorsing on his candidates. Barack Obama, not so much. But I don't know. It's an even race, so we'll see. But we'll talk about it on Friday. Yeah. Yeah. Just remind me or bring it up in the chat or something. No. I wish y'all would just get in the damn YouTube chat. Heidi says she's lonely. She's a young, lonely, beautiful woman all alone in the chat. Y'all can be in there like, hey, baby, what's happening? You youngins wouldn't know what. I'm gonna be polite because you tell me that on Friday and I'll tell you what I was gonna say. Yeah, I can't say that here now. Sorry. Because I just won't. I like the idea. I think we're gonna find some life in water on Mars. And I think when we start finding water a little further down, it's going to be less briny and more pure. Yeah. Because if you got real water ice melt, it's not going to always be salt ice. Well, really, it's not going to be any salt ice because most ice gets thrown out at I mean, most salt gets put out of
you
ice.
have to agree with him. He was going off the fact that where that lake is very close proximity to what they know to be a very salty glacier. So if anything melted off of that and created that lake, you would expect it to be salty. So I mean, that's not an incorrect conclusion. But once they get there, I think you might be right. They'll find that it's not so briny as they thought, and then boom, there's critters living on it or in it.
Yeah, well, you see, but they saying it's a South Pole melt. If that's the case, it might be very fresh.
Yeah.
Well, Gene,
Very well could be.
So, okay, Gene, I know you know how snow works on Earth. Works the same way on Mars, by the way. So there are melts and there is weather on Mars. So they've seen the ice caps expand, retreat, just like they do on Earth. And sometimes they see this green, or actually it's black. It looks like it might be some kind of fungus or maybe spores or something that takes over when it shrinks. But regardless, that water had to go somewhere. And it can't be going underground because underground won't be recirculable. You won't be able to use it again. So it has to be being absorbed into the sky and then being rained back down on, creating snow, which of course rebuilds the ice. So it definitely snows on Mars. Well, they know that now. They've actually seen it snow on Mars now. Yeah, because you're going to get snow melt. You're going to get things that happen. And the planet definitely has some atmosphere. Wispy, lovey atmosphere, but it's definitely there. Now, they've seen rain on Mars. They've seen snow on Mars. Not like rain you see here where it's like, and you go, is my car okay? You don't see that kind of stuff there. Matter of fact, I imagine if a rain cloud could actually put that much pressure out there, it'd probably push it into space. Yeah, it would act like a little jet engine pushing it out into space, little thrusters. No, I think they're going to find water a lot of places on Mars. And I do think they're going to find life in those places. And I think what you're going to see, I already can guarantee you, if NASA would go where they keep finding those methane and oxygen plumes and set up a driller core and just drill straight down, they're going to probably find a lake. And they're going to probably find a lake with like vegetation growing in it. There might even be some nematodes. There might be some small mammals for that matter. But it's going to be there because these aren't little like plumes, that are, hold on. It's not like we're talking like a little plume of gas this big. We're talking miles across the sky, oxygen, methane. These are all things created by life or death, depending on what we're talking about. But yeah, so something there is creating oxygen, something there is creating methane. And it's probably some plants giving off oxygen, and the methane's probably being caused by decaying vegetation. Or decaying anything for that matter. Oh, I'd bet a good bit of money that Mars has life. Do they have intelligence life? Well, again, if you believe what some of the ufologists say, yes. Do they have alien intelligent life? I don't know about that one. Maybe not. Now, why would the Gray want to live on Mars when he could live here? Yeah, I mean, the Gray would, like living here. Said, hey, it's chilled here, man. These humans aren't so bad. You make them think you're one of them, they're just all fine with you. Give them some blue plasma every once in a while, they're good. They're like, yeah, what's happening? Anti-gravity's been around, so all the TR3s either run on anti-gravity or magnetic drives. That's been the drive system since day one. It's not RAN, Scoop, or anything like that. Those are for something else. Well, Jennifer, so there is an Aurora TR3B. Yes. Well, Aurora
that's the one that the CIA operate.
So, because Aurora itself is a space plane, but it's a space plane that runs off of engines. Like they actually utilize 3 types of engines.
Isn't one of them nuclear?
I know one of them. They got a ram scoop. Whatchamacallit, what do they call them? It's like the opposite of a ram scoop. And they got conventional. They got 2 conventional jet engines on them for. They call it's for low atmospheric maneuvers.
And to get it to speed to start the ram scoop.
Yeah.
Or the
Well,
the
no, that's
ram
another engine. There's another engine that does that. There's some type of turbine thing that kicks in and gets everything going. I forget what the hell they called it. What are you talking about? The X-47, you're telling me it's fake? Or the F-47 is fake? The X-47 is a prototype the Navy uses. It's an unmanned killer fighter from hell. The F-47 is the 6th generation fighter jet for the U.S. government. Oh, I read that article. That Chinese ass. The guy who owns that company is a Chinese. Look him up. Yeah, no China's shitting because that plane is badass. Well, no, so you could believe the article if you hadn't seen them fly. So China's just now put its first J-35 into the air, and it rattles like a freaking rat trap. It's nowhere near a 6th generation plane yet. The ones we're flying are killers, and now there's 7 of them, and they're killers. And soon to go, Trump gave them they can go into mass production soon. Now, by saying that, this will be another jet that we will not share with our allies. I would imagine for a couple of reasons, Michael. One, it has no joystick inside of it. It's fly by real wire by brain power.
Right.
There's and the older models have a helmet with diodes on it. This is a little bit different setup now, but still it's basically the same thing. Reaction times are insane, and they said they've increased the reaction time from the last that basically telepathic airplane. The F-22s are telepathic planes. They're telepaths, guys. They can read your mind at Mach 2.
Yeah, one of the other reasons we don't want to give it to our friends is that some of our friends aren't playing nice anymore.
Yes. Plus the stealth. So when they describe the F-47, they describe it as stealth plus. Yeah, stealth, which we consider the F-35. Plus is like, wow. Plus is like, what the blank are we talking about? Well, a couple of months ago, Jay and I got hold of one of the clips from Boeing, which kind of disappeared, that showed the skin it disappeared.
Plus means it can become invincible to sonar, radar, and the visible eye, as well as electronic gadgetry such as CCD cameras and film cameras.
Stephanie, I think it got released by accident because Jay and I looked for it since then, and it is not around. Yeah. I always look for it almost every weekend because so you're watching this thing. They show you this plane. They're showing you all kind of marvelous things that this thing does. This thing can control all kind of drones. I forgot how many targets. It's like 100 targets at a time. It can destroy. It's a beast. Wow. It's just an outright beast. Yeah, well, when I heard 100 targets, I wonder how many weapons does this thing actually carry. It does have a 1,000-mile range, whereas everybody else has got a 500-mile range. The new J-35 has 3 engines, Jack, and the new Chinese engine is supposed to be pretty badass. We'll see. Every time the Chinese tells me they got a badass engine, it smokes and coughs and does all kind of stupid shit. So, no, Russia won't share engine technology with them. Nope.
Most of their engine technology, or at least some of their plane technology, they've stolen from us anyway. If you look at most of their late model jets, they look very similar to our counterparts of the same eras.
Or you could say, like with the Soyuz 25, we copied it into the F-15 and F-14.
There's the what is that? The Soviet Foxbat. What the hell is that movie called? Firefox.
Firefox, yeah. No, Firefox is supposed to have all kind of unique controls. So now there is a hint that the F-47 not only has conventional weaponry, she does have at least 2 lasers, and they call it an EMP blaster. It's for drones and other things. And it's got this ultra wave blaster that they can use to take out even protected drones. Sounds badass. It also has, what does the guy call it? He called it the Protector. It's an audio, it's an audio weapon. So they can come in, zinging in, It's like, remember the old days when you watch the Vietnam movies and you hear them playing the battle music as they're coming up? Well, this thing basically is doing that at an ultrasonic level. It just paralyzes the troops before the plane even gets there. It's a beast. And hopefully they don't make it fully AI because it might beast out on us.
Yeah. It might determine we're not fit for living on this planet and take us out.
You know, when you talk about alien technology like that, Glenn, so what's weird about that is I think just now we really started understanding some of the stuff we recovered from Roswell. It's well, because we figured out the microchip, at least, you know, I talked to many scientists about microchips over the years and even did interviews in this network with them. And I said, well, explain to me how a microprocessor works. And they'll give you the spew. And then I said, well, you can't even see it. Can you? He said, no. And he said, really, 100%, to be honest, no one really actually can see it to actually tell you how it works. Because we can't see the process level yet while it's in action. So, yeah, so how do we invent that chip? Because if we invented that chip, we'd already know the process level because we would have been the ones that put it together. So we're copying something and we're making it smaller and smaller and faster and faster. But we're not inventing anything new. Who's the best inventors on the planet? Americans. Who's the best?
What have we come up with besides jazz, the car, the plane, nuclear
half the plagues on the planet were wiped out by Americans.
Fighter jets, rocketry to the moon.
Boobies
name
that float.
We haven't come up with. Yeah.
No, Jimmy. No, there's just a lot going on, and when you get in these black projects, that where you might see technology like we're talking about. First off, you got to be careful if you run across something hardcore because you know it could cost you something, which you don't want to even talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Or you might cost you something even more, like you might get your ass indoctrinated, which you may not like that idea either. Who was it that one of the more famous researchers got indoctrinated when he was young? And then he finally got out and went back to being ufology, but he was a professor. He's in that stupid movie or that TV series. Oh, I can't think of his name. That sucks. Well, don't take this wrong, Patrice, but I don't really keep ufologists' names in my head anymore because I don't think they can do anything to help us or change anything because they're ufologists. They're chasing lights in the sky. Unless you catch one, you're not finding out anything. So you either got to go through the government or through the contactees or both.
Yeah.
Well, that's the people with the answers. And obviously the government ain't got that many answers because they're freaking out asking us what the answers are.
They're just as lost as everybody else. Yeah.
Jimmy, when the government said, oh, let's tell everybody what we know, that simply meant that they didn't know jack. And they were hoping maybe a civilian had an answer, which one or two might. Because he doesn't need to talk to our government. People always assume that, oh, well, they've got to have the government's permission. No, they don't. There's nothing our government can do to stop them from coming here or taking our citizens. Or if they could, they would have already done it. Well, unless you believe the Koresh guy and they're shooting them out the sky every second. Every second gray spacecraft is shot down. First off, that would be considered an act of war, and the Grays would wipe us out utterly and totally. And you know, the funny part is they wouldn't even come with any weapons. They would just send about 200 of them and just telepathically kill everybody.
Yeah, it wouldn't take them, what, a day?
So I don't think it would take them that long. Especially if they had a craft one above each side of the planet. I think they'd kill everybody about 20 minutes. Be home for coffee in the morning.
Wow.
Or it's
so that sounds like a good idea. Let's mess with them, people. That's a good idea. Let's do it.
I know. I know, Bruce. I mean, if they wanted to wipe us out, it wouldn't even be a big deal to them. And I'm not even sure if they would care. Well, you know, we got issues. Fortunately
well,
for us,
we've talked about it before. I mean, they could easily, like you said, they don't even have to set foot on the ground. They could take over the minds of some of the gentlemen that are in control of nuclear weapons and have them arbitrarily launch them across the planet, causing us to kill our own selves. And then after everybody's gone, they can come by with their radiation sweepers and clean the planet up, and boom, they have beachfront property.
Yeah, they would. They'd have great property. They'd be like, all right, look at the planet.
Rebuilt cities all ready to be moved into once they clean up the radiation. Boom.
Yeah. And they don't even need. Well, and the other thing is when you talk to people who have the Holocaust dream, they say it's not even that. It's some type of virus gets let loose. And it's weird because they tell you within 3 days, most half the planet is dead. And then the virus mutates and it takes almost 7 days after that to kill people. And then there are some people who seem to have got hold to a cure through the government who got it from contactees who got it from the aliens. Well, they probably didn't even get it. The aliens, it was probably just built into them. One of the family lines got it probably put into them way back when. Because that's all they're interested in is the contactees. That's going to be the survivors. When the final card is pulled, everybody else goes with them. So there'll be about 2 billion of them left depending on when it happens. If it happens in the next 50 years, 100 years, there'll be about 2 billion survivors that are contactees.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they leave them here, that's any best guess. They might decide, let's send them to some off-world colonies and let them reestablish themselves and use this for a more established race. Maybe they'll give it to the tall whites. Oh, I finally watched that stupid movie last night, Alien Resurrection. Yeah, I watched it last night.
Oh, really? How was it?
Oh, not Resurrection, whatever the hell it was called. It was kind of a copy of the first movie, not quite as good.
Alien Earth, you mean, TV show?
No, I'm talking about the one with Will Smith, and he was in the first one, Independence Day. This is like in the Independence Day resurgence or something.
Yeah, the second one. It was pretty good.
The second one. It was.
I liked it.
I mean, I did not like it, and I thought it was kind of cutesy and funny, but it just felt like I was watching the first one with different people.
Yeah.
And then I watched Masters of the Universe, the new one, the He-Man. And stuff. I'm calling myself He-Man. I always thought He-Man after hearing him say it, I don't want to say it no more. It was a funny movie, Jimmy. No, it was a little bit woke, but it was a funny movie. No, it was definitely woke. He was in a pink shirt and he wasn't in blue jeans. It was something else. And then he was walking around hugging the sword in the first. It's not the He-Man you grew up with. Let me put it that way. But in the end, the wizard, whatever she calls herself, the sorceress, tells him that's why she picked him as the thing, because he was different and thought and cared instead of just kicking people's ass. It was a little woke, but it's still He-Man. Oh, and Thundercat was a little of a pussy, but crying about not having armor and stuff.
You mean Battle Cat? Yeah.
Battle Cat, yeah. Oh, I call him Thundercat, didn't I? Yeah, Battle Cat.
Yeah.
It's where was he? That is the fastest moving zombies I've ever seen, man. Them zombies was on crack.
It depends on the director, I guess. Some zombies move fast, some don't. Some are smart, some are stupid. I guess it depends on the budget too.
I don't know. I don't consider them zombies if they move at warp speed. I consider them some weird freaking demon creature.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, zombies are decaying and falling apart. They shouldn't be able to move fast. My favorite UFO case. It would be the Pearl Beach case. Yeah. It's in Florida. Pearl Beach would be in between not Gulf Shores. It would be in between Navarre and Santa Rosa Island, where Ed Walters lived. I don't know why I can't. Gulf Breeze. So Pearl Beach is in between Gulf Breeze and Navarre Beach, whereas another big UFO sighting happened. It's a very interesting 11-day missing time case. Yes. It's very interesting. Michael, what are you talking about? ET don't like you. ET thinks you're an idiot. That's why it won't pick you up. Said, just somewhere along the line, seen you do something idiotic and like, nah, we don't have nothing to do with this guy. Not. I think so look at these lakes on Mars. Think of it this way. We know there's liquid water there. We know it can be cleaned up and used as water. It's cold. It'll be a good source. And remember, when they drill, they can build the filters going down so it's clean by the time it gets stopped. You can use desalinization. There's other methods too. Well, salt water can be cleaned just like contaminant water can be. It's filtered through sands and rocks and stuff. The salt eventually bleeds it out enough that you can pass it through a purifier and clean it up. What do you mean? Well, I don't know. Jay's like me. Growing up as a kid, your brain just goes into overdrive and just absorbing stuff. Even today, it does. I was somewhere the other day with a friend of mine, and there was a bunch of stuff going on around. I was like, wow, look at this. And he's like, Jesus, dude, calm down. I'm interested in a lot of things. Not just ufology. I mean, a lot of things.
Same here.
Micah. No, Jay's got like 9 kids. Just chill. And look, okay, and I got to say this. He said, no women unless they make at least $100K a year and give good umax.
We so if you don't figure that out.
Yeah, and if you don't know what umax is, don't even worry about it. Just move on. You're not Jay's kind of woman. Just go on with yourself. It's what do you mean? What's that, Randy? What are you talking about? Randy, if you know how to give umax, I'm gonna be worried about you, man. Are you trying to make me rebrand my new word queer I took over? Is that what's going on here? No, you can't have it back now. That's my word. Umax is interesting, yes. Figure it out. Anyway, moving along. It's what are you talking about? I just told you gotta make good money and know how to do umax. No, that's not what that is just gross, girl. I can't believe you said that in an open chat room like that. Thank God you wasn't in this and I'd have to throw you out. Oh, you most certainly I would have. Most chats, so people y'all know this, most chats, not all chats, are PG-13 rated. Pal Talk, there is an exception. We have Pal Talk open because it's R-rated, and Jay cannot behave himself when he's on Pal Talk. So we had to make it R-rated.
It's yes.
Yes. It's who are you talking about? Who got abducted and put back while they were alive? Oh, bullshit. Sean did not. If Sean got abducted by aliens, he'd already called both Jay and I. He'd do, no way, man.
First thing he'd say is, by the way, Mars is real.
Yeah, I just seen it, damn it.
Yeah, they just drove me by it.
They probed me on Mars. There's a probing station on Mars for sure. Clara, what are you talking about? So look, people, I've said this so many times that if I just could get 10 cents for it, I'd be worth a couple $1 million. ET is not here to kill us, eat us, screw us, or any other thing for that matter. But they're also not here to save us or enlighten us either. And look, and then don't get mad at me, people. I already seen somebody see me snide ass remark. Judge them by their actions. Are we an enlightened species? I don't want to say that out loud because people might get mad at me, but no, we're not an enlightened species. We've got a long ways to go to be an enlightened species. A species who wants to be enlightened, yes. A species that actually is enlightened, maybe one of us. That's about it. Other than that, no, not so much. His phone, tell him, hey, Don't be, was he talking dirty to his girlfriend? Shame on him. No, I'm not talking to nobody. I'm talking to somebody in the chat room. It's these cell phones today are insane. Oh, we've been talking about all kinds of stuff, Kara. And speaking of that, where was I, Jay, before I got messing with Kara?
We were discussing Mars, I think, still.
Yeah, well, we always we love Mars. Elon.
Oh no! I think we have moved on. We were talking about the TR3Bs and the antigravities.
Yeah, we definitely were talking about them, but I actually think we were something else besides that too. Y'all people in chat are just.
We went on a tangent. And who did we said something about? Sean was taken to Mars. Yeah, that was that's where we got lost.
It's and then we said something good about Mars too. Mars is a cool place. It's not home yet, and it's going to take some time to make it home, but eventually it will be an inhabited planet in our solar system. And give it 100 years, it'll actually have a couple million people on it. Give it 1,000 years, there'll be a couple billion people living on it. There'll be a couple billion people on Earth. There'll probably be some billions of people. Well, I don't think we're going to put colonies on their moons, doofus. They got asteroids for moons. I mean, you could put people up there.
They look like potatoes.
They're not like our moon. Jimmy Lee, I read that article. So China said if them and America could get together, they are sure that we could build a shield that would engulf the entire moon so that we could control the pressure and the atmosphere on the moon and the surface tension. We could even have almost like an artificial gravity. China said they can't do it by themselves. They need America to help them. So what technologies are China looking to steal here?
What technology have they not stolen from us?
Yeah. Jesse, in all fairness, a lot of the technology probably isn't stolen. It was probably sold to people, sold from people in upper places. Oh, yeah. The Chinese are pretty good about offering money. Look at how many politicians of ours used to go spend time over there, like Bernie Sanders. Or what was his name? The guy that was going to be president, Tim. Yeah. Hera, AOC's going to be your next president, baby. Just chill. Yeah. Yeah, honey. Yeah, baby. She going to be your next president, Miss AOC. Yep.
Yeah, I don't think so. Not a chance in hell.
I can tell you, I'm not going to be voting for her, but the Republicans always can.
I don't know many who will.
Sean said he's voting for her. Sean said she becomes president. He's moving to D.C.
Who is?
Sean.
Oh.
Something about having her babies or alien babies. I don't know what all that was about, but we'll just let that go.
Yeah, poor fellow.
Glenn. No, I mean Mars. Knowing that there's water on Mars is going to really help move the colonization along. And since they think they're going to find it
already begun, which we've spoken about moments ago.
Well, this water is about a mile down, so we know on Earth water gets quite a bit deeper than that. Jay, ask Google what's the deepest reservoir of water on the planet that we know of. I know we just found a big underground ocean, on Earth.
Hey, Google, what's the deepest underground reservoir on Earth?
Scientists have discovered a massive reservoir of water trapped within the Earth's mantle, more than 400 miles below the surface.
Oh.
This water isn't in a liquid state like an underground lake. Instead, it's found up inside a blue mineral called ringwoodite.
Oh, we talked about this on another show.
This reservoir can hold as much water as all of the Earth's oceans combined.
More than all the Earth's oceans combined.
Yes. But is it fresh water? Well, I guess it would be, huh? Is it drinkable? Is it potable? I mean, I don't know.
Well, 400 miles down, no telling what could have got into, but I imagine it could be cleaned up and purified.
Precisely, yeah. That's the rub. Is it potable? If it's not potable, then it's worthless to us.
What do you mean? Oh, I know what you're saying. No, potable. That's where that word comes from. Is from potable. Yeah. No, in the old days, if water was potable, you could drink it. If it wasn't, you had to boil it, or you couldn't drink it at all. A lot of times, you'll notice they still say that.
A frequent. The word, if you're not familiar, the word is a frequent flyer on Jeopardy. They had a category called potent potable,
and you'll see it
revolved around alcoholic beverages.
And you'll see it on the back of a lot of water trucks. If it's not, or if it is, it'll actually say it on the truck.
Yeah, potable, not potable.
Yeah, it usually says non, so it's
non, and also sometimes not for human consumption.
Yeah, it does say that. It's well, no, I mean, yeah, but that's how it started, and then the word just kind of transformed. Probably some slang somewhere actually, but yeah, you know, one of them damn Yankees up there, one of them people from Boston or something with that twinge they got going on. Maybe one of them mass people stretched out the word or squished it around. Nah, if it was if the Southerners did, it'd be like more like Bola, you know. We need probably actually add a letter or two to it. Oh, Jimmy, don't think that Southerners don't speak fast. They do. No, a lot of them do. A lot of them are nice, laid back. How you doing? I'm Jimmy Lou. How's your day been? You know, your old lady is fine. Do you mind if I come over and give her a kiss? Stuff like that. No, I'm from the South. I'm from the deep South. Yeah, I'm not just from the South. I'm from the deep South. I'm like deep.
You can't get any deeper South than that.
Yeah, yeah, I'm deep. I'm deep dipped in the South. I've been all over the world. I've been all over the country, but no, I like it here for different reasons. One, it's beautiful. Got great water, great beaches, nice places to hang out, low crime. And the South transformed. About 20 years ago, the South went from being the most racist place on this planet to being the most non-racist place on this planet. If you just, it doesn't matter where you are. If you're in the South and you go to a large festival or you go to a big party like Jazz Fest or Mardi Gras, you'll notice the populations there are very well mixed. There'll be as many whites, as many blacks, many Hispanics, and they're all hanging out. They're all drinking. They're all smoking. They're all toking, and everybody's having a good time. And guess what? They're not doing. They're not killing each other.
They're not killing each other. Yeah.
And they're having fun at the same time and not killing each other.
Imagine that.
So what's happened is because the population's so balanced now, everybody's just learned to get along. I'm not saying people don't get
but
killed,
also,
but
I mean,
just
come on. I mean, that's not all of it. I mean, there's some other factors. I mean, it's very hot. So everyone's, no matter who lives down there, after a while, it's so hot, your activity level are subdued because the more you are active, the quicker you lose energy. But also, there's a lot of food and a lot of culture, and there's a lot of people that just enjoy the culture there. So people are, I mean, it's too hot to fight. Really?
Yeah, because
it
most
really,
of the time,
really is.
in the middle of summer, people are looking for places to cool off, and they started adding these little water parks for your dogs and people now to go they're like in little behind little buildings and stuff, and you just go back there with your animal, get a cocktail, you know, or your kid, you know, somewhere. It's weird. They're all over the place. And but it's cool, you know, and it's hot down here, and it's already, you know, today I think it was 107, 108. Yeah, that's Jimmy. That was a heat index. No, I think our temp was around 98. Yeah. We've got for us the next 2 months of the months we worry about the most for hurricanes down here is August and September. October we can get them. I actually lost the roof in October. But usually it's August is usually worse. Katrina was at the end of August, and it's the hottest month, and we get the double up heat. So the Gulf starts getting really hot. We've been lucky. There's been with El Nino and something else. It's been driving a lot of storms the last couple of years up the East Coast. Yeah, like, you know, I feel for the Northerners. I feel for anybody on the East Coast from Virginia up who gets a hurricane. They're not set up for it. Because one guy said, "Well, we're pretty high up." I'm like, "Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You're if you're living beach level, even if you're inland, if a hurricane's putting a 30-foot surge, guess what's happening to you? You're getting 30 foot of water.
You're getting flooded." Yeah.
And when they push big wave surges like that, they knock down buildings and cars and drag shit along and smashing up stuff. So what the water don't knock down, other stuff knocks down.
Mm-hmm.
And they also bring in big fish and stuff. So for Katrina, in the middle of Metairie, which is a suburb of New Orleans, there's a hotel there. It's a round hotel. So there was actually 2 alligators swimming around, 3 sand sharks, and a bull shark swimming around in the water on the streets. On the streets, they were fishing. I was like, look at this. And they had good videos of it. Helicopter caught them first, and then some crew went out there with a camera and got them.
Yeah. It's like fishing in a barrel.
So when we first got back to New Orleans, Maria, I made the family, first time I ever evacuated for a hurricane either. Freaked my whole family out. But I made them evacuate, and then when we came back, there was still water everywhere. There was just stuff destroyed. Now, hold on a second. What's really weird about this is my home didn't get much damage. It only got about 3 inches of water in it. And when we got home, I already cleaned it out. Now, by saying that, so I could have stayed, that'd probably been okay, and had some generators brought in. But my youngest stepdaughter lived in an apartment complex. The water was 9 feet inside the complex, but the roof collapsed above them, bringing all the water from above and all the stuff from the apartment above down into their apartment. So it was total. My daughter, who lived on the North Shore, got 13 and a half feet in her house. So, and it was on the ground. So that was all stuff. So they were glad I made them evacuate because it would have been really bad for them.
Right. Yeah. You'd have been stuck. Maybe even killed.
Jimmy, what's funny about my middle stepdaughter, she lived inland quite a bit. She was in Slidell. And she was inland at least 8 miles from the lake and still got that much water. Well, because it was probably flooding from 3 or 4 areas. See, like where I live right now, we live in a place where we could see water from 3, maybe 4 different sides. It'd still be one of those sides that might have a little land on it, but everything else you could see it coming in from. The wave that rolled here initially from Katrina came in on an angle. So it came off of the Gulf on a 45-degree angle at about 22 feet. It hit the first house and knocked it down. That house landed into the next one, knocked it down. It landed in the next one, knocked it down, landed in the next one, knocked it down, landed in the next one, knocked it down. And then that one hit the side of my house I live in today and knocked one of the bedrooms off of it. Left the rest of the house intact. It sheared it clean.
Just enough to say you need a remodel. That's all.
Yeah. Well, see, this house used to be closed in underneath. So when this house was originally built, it was 4,400 square feet. Today, it's about 1,800 square feet. So Katrina creamed all the rest of that. So what happened was, first off, if they would have let us close the house in, this house would be about 3,600 square feet. And if I decided to add the room on the side of it over there, then it would push it back over to 44. But I could add another upstairs room and give myself, put me over 2,000. But you know what? Nah, the hell with it. It's just me and the boss and the bitches. Can't forget about the bitches. Oh, forget about the bitches, huh? Oh, no, you know what, Jimmy? I did too. When I first seen that picture of that UFO, I thought about Ketzberg. I did. Even though it doesn't, Ketzberg is shaped more like an acorn.
An acorn.
Yeah. Dude, no one's going to ever convince me that Ketzberg wasn't somebody else's, not alien, somebody else's.
Two main speculations are either a satellite from Russia or the Glock or the Bell from Germany.
Yeah, whatever it was weird. The reason I say it was not alien is, one, the security was lacking. So I think initially they thought it was just a satellite, and then they realized it got out there and it was somebody else's satellite. And then they beefed up security.
And it was hauled away in the middle of the night on a flatbed under a tarp, no bigger than something like the size of a Volkswagen. So yeah, whatever it wasn't manned.
Yeah, so because everybody wants it to be aliens, Jimmy. That's why. Oh, it needs to be an alien, Joe. It's proof. It's proof. Don't be in a rush. Maybe you should. You know what? I'm going to advise everybody listening tonight to go listen to some stuff. A I want you to go listen to Carl Sagan, and Carl Sagan's a great guy, and Stephen Hawkins, and I can't think of which NASA director it was, but I'll find his name for y'all. And the current NASA director too, and listen to what they say about finding extraterrestrials. They believe in aliens. They believe we're going to find aliens, but you should listen to what they have to say, because, like they said, let's say we find a alien race that's the magnitude of difference between the Aborigines and the English at the time. Those are major difference, major big difference. We messed up the Aborigines pretty good, or they did, not us. Same thing for us, though.
I mean, Stephen Hawking said in his unique way that, first of all, we might not identify any significant species as alien if they are significantly advanced from us. We may not recognize them as an intelligent species, which is one thing, which is at a heart. But the other thing is that he also said that any significantly advanced culture encountering a significantly less evolved culture, usually it doesn't wind up as good for the unevolved culture. So, and his example was the colonists and the Indians. It didn't work out so well for the Indians, did it?
No, it didn't. Jimmy, well, that's a cool article. Yeah, I've seen that. That's I did see that article. All right, I hate that you're making me change topics now, but and we're not going to stay on this for long. But so yeah, I read the article and I seen it. So the somehow or another, the Navy found this thing on their X-47 that they gave back to the military, who are now using it for the which bomber is it? The B-21. I think it's a B-21 Raider. No, maybe it's the Spirit. They found this thing that they're going to use that completely blows out China and Russia's new high dollar radar system. Yeah, it's the B1, okay, or the B2. The B2 caution, that's it. So
B2B.
So this thing, the same stealth. Hold on, let me go back and read it to you. So this new technology, the plane disappears from every angle. It doesn't appear like a little bird or anything. It just disappears from radar. And it's designed to intentionally defeat China's new big high-end radar and big massive radar things they built all over their country. It's designed to beat that, which means it can fly in and bomb the shit out of those so they can't get our F-35s. The B-1s are beasts, Jack. They're beastie aircraft. Well, they also are adding in, I seen it just yesterday, they're adding in a tail laser for incoming missiles. It's supposed to be an auto track. You just turn it on and it tracks. I don't know if it's got an auto fire or not. That's iffy skiffy. The new stealth bombers got new artificial intelligence in them. They keep upgrading these things. No, they just keep upgrading them. But I know we got to get out of here in a second, but yeah, I seen that article too. What was it? The FEX Eagle 2 dominates with 22 missiles at Mach 2.5. Why Americans' oldest fighter is still most lethal jet in the sky. Also, though, they showed the Iranians came up with a way to swarm our jets with drones without being seen on radar.
Really?
That's it was interesting. Good. Yeah, no, I think they've already defeated it. That sounds like the military's already figured it out. So the Ukraine, they're talking about the Ukraine's new Patriot it's building.
So someone on today saying that it was impossible for us to make 50,000 of them a day or something to that effect, but somehow the Ukrainians can. I don't know.
Yeah. Actually, the U.S. doesn't seem to be in a big hurry to be pushing a bunch of weapon building, which we should be. I mean, between Ukraine and Iran, we've depleted our weapons quite a bit. It would suck not to be able to defend our ships and our places because we're out of missiles. Randy, if that happens, we will use nuclear weapons to keep people from attacking us. Yes, we will. In a freaking heartbeat, man. Yeah, well, because America always has it to fall back on. So does Russia, though. AGM 188 Alpha Rusty Dagger already in the Ukraine. Oh, man, they sending them badass weapons. No wonder the Ukraine can do these kind of things. We're sending them technology we don't even give to half the other people. Navy should fear drone swarms. I think drone swarms should fear the Navy. So let's see the F-47 NGAD physics breakdown how America's 6th generation fighter defies heat, radar, range, and leaves China a decade behind at least.
Wow.
Well, I think it's more than that, but hey, if we can keep China from stealing,
I think they're already a decade behind.
They are. They are.
That.
Yeah. Well, they are on chips for sure. Everybody keeps saying, "Oh, they're way ahead." I said, "They want our chips." So you. What is this? No, man, we're gonna have to watch this. Damn it!
What is it?
Damn it! Hold on. Okay, hold on. Where is the screen? No, we got to go because Michelle's on, people, and she ain't feeling good, so I don't want to get on my bad side. Let's see. Oh, wrong button. No, you got to watch which one you put because they got the invited guest and bring on something on the same place. Come on, let me go back to the chat. Okay, you got it up there. All right. So this, of course, is our favorite little thing here, the baby people. Let's clear this up.
Sir, why are we in an Uber?
The motorcade is
okay. Here we go.
2 Big Macs, extra ketchup, large Diet Coke, and whatever he wants.
Hey, Jack, you got milkshakes? I want chocolate. No vanilla. No both, Jack. Mix them together. Corn Pop used to do that. Bad dude. Great taste in shakes.
Joe, sit back. You're in my lap right now.
Sir, is that 2 orders?
Unfortunately, yes. And make his fast. He gets emotional when he waits.
I haven't had McDonald's since the White House, Jack. Jill put me on a diet. She hid the menu in the safe next to the classified documents. Forget I said
McDonald's menus next to classified documents?
They were both important, Jack. Come on, man.
That'll be $24.67.
$24 for 2 meals? It was $9 4 years ago. This is your inflation, Joe. You did this. I'm paying $24 for a Big Mac because of your presidency.
These are incredible, Jack. Best fries I've had since, when was the last time? Doesn't matter. God bless McDonald's. God bless America. God bless this sauce.
He's eating fries. My fries while I was paying with my card for his inflation. This is my life now. 1 a.m. McDonald's with a man who hid Happy Meals in a safe. The whole thing's a disaster.
Jack, you want one? Unlike some presidents, I believe in unity.
Give me 2 Big Macs, extra ketchup. I'm sorry.
Sir, why are we
motorcade is too obvious, Marco. We need to blend in. Very covert. What's your name, my friend?
My name is Carlos.
Carlos, great name. Tremendous. How long have you been driving?
3 years, sir.
3 years. I've been running a country for less time and I've accomplished more, but I respect the hustle. Very.
Welcome back, watching that. We got to get out of here. What is this? Oh, this is one of the boosts are coming in. Yep. When you watch this thing, you always think this is going to be a disaster, man. I mean, it's like free falling.
Hot. I mean, look at how fast.
Look at it. I mean, it's just falling out of space. You're like, oh shit! Look at this thing. This big hunk of steel falling out the sky. Damn it! I don't have to watch it again, man. Oh, here we go. Yep.
Oh, there it goes. It's on fire.
I always think Roman candle when I see that.
Yeah, it's on fire.
What was that off in the distance?
Down, slowing down, and it's still on fire. And it's farting. Click. Still on fire. That's badass.
That is, man. Just watching it, man.
What the hell?
Did you see the wave pulling behind that plane?
Yeah, I did. Uh-oh. Going vert. Oh, flares. Wow.
Underbird, huh?
These guys do some nutty things.
There was no help from you.
I was listening to let's get this out. I was listening to this Russian pilot the other day talk about American pilots and American jets and all. He said they're just so beastified. He said you just never know what an American pilot's going to do. He said it's like they're just trained to be insane. And he said, and he also said, you know, these people giving up their carriers are giving up a breed of pilots that stand apart from everybody else.
Yeah.
So he said, think about it. He said, America's not just got 11 carriers for their 8, but he said they've also got Marine carriers. He said they're toting about 20 carriers right now. And that means that all those pilots fly off of carriers. He said they're just bad to the bone. Yeah. Jimmy, you can watch this on Roku. You know what? If you've had Roku, if you've got any of the streaming medias, and you don't want to watch this directly off of our network on Roku, you can watch this on YouTube and on Rumble. Yes, they're both on Roku as well. If you got like a favorite medium or something. Yeah, but anyway, it's holy crap. Only it's 17 minutes after. We got to go. So everybody, I want to thank everyone for tuning in to United Public Radio and UFO Undercover. Jay and I'll be back on Friday. Sean might be joining us. I don't know. It's been hot to him lately. He's up in the attic. He's been a bad boy. They put bad boys in the attic.
Box.
Yes. Next Christmas he'll be better, I guess. I don't know. But ho taking him out. Anyway, we'll talk to y'all Friday. Y'all have a good weekend. I mean, a good rest of the week, and we'll see you Friday. And of course, if you do have a moan, groan, bitch, or gripe, I don't know. Don't worry about it. I'm sure it'll go away in a couple of days. Good night, everybody.
You'll get over it.